Alrighty, everybody, it is time. It is time for the fateful Friday night hype fest. And tonight we're going to do a little more hyping than we probably should because there's some crazy stuff going on right now. Crazy. I'm going to blow everybody's minds tonight, and I'm probably going to get some hate for it, but you know what? I'm going all in because it's Friday. Thomas, I was reading through your comments a little bit ago. I'm not too sure if you're still in the chat, but I can't say enough how much I thank you for all the kind sentiments from your first message all the way through to the last, and I'm very, very, very ecstatic that your mom felt the way that she did and got to communicate with you as well. That makes me feel really good. Weather aside, that's what it's all about, making sure everyone is interconnected and serving the purpose of being one wholesome community, family, friends alike. So I can't thank you enough for everything that you put in the chat. Thank you so much. I hope you continue to be a subscriber and a faithful viewer, and hopefully many, many more tag along just like you were saying, because that's what it really truly boils down to, is trying to give the best information and the best of the ability that I can to everybody. And with that being said, I'm cracking open a new brewski tonight. We're going to try this High Noon. I have yet to try this one. It's black cherry vodka soda. So let's see what it's all about. Cheers to Friday night hype. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's see. Let's say hello to some people. Everyone starts saying hello. Let's talk. Ethan, I did see your video. Heck yeah. Very good stuff. Very good orchestra performance. I loved it. Very good stuff. Linda, hello there. How close are we? Hello. Daniel, hello. Fum Chum, Cat 5 in November. Yep, here we go. My man, I gave you a shout out on Mike's weather page this week. A couple. Larry, I really appreciate that. Heck yeah, let's do it. Carmen, welcome in. I see you in there. Zenful, hyped up, as always, as we should. Elite Chief Stark, who's ready for Hype Friday. Guys, I'm going to... I almost cussed. I'm going to mess some stuff up right now, because check this out. I did some digging a little bit ago just for willy-nilly, because everyone's talking about how Philippe kind of split in half and is doing some weird stuff out there. It definitely did not split in half. In fact, everybody's forecast, mine included, has busted big time. Let's see, let's watch it. Yep, everybody's forecast has completely busted, and I'll show you why. So right now, what I did here was I pulled up 400 panels worth of visible satellite imagery so we could track exactly what happened. And I'll tell you right now, what I think is going on, and I genuinely mean it, I'm not trying to hype up. I know it's Friday, and that's what we're doing, but what's going on here is we might have a sneaky system. This guy right here, forming up just like Ophelia did, looking very reminiscent of what Ophelia looked like, sneaking up to the northeast. Because that is not Philippe. That is our cold pocket that broke off a few days ago that was supposed to draw Philippe in. But if you track it out, I'm going to try to trace over it when we get another satellite run. I'll try to trace over the center here so you guys can see it. I'll show you where Philippe really is. Yeah, so here we go. There's our center. I'm tracking it with my pen. There it goes. And that's Philippe right there. Philippe is not going towards the northeast coast. Philippe is getting sucked out to sea. So technically speaking, everybody who mentioned all a long time ago that Philippe was meant to go out to sea and become another fish storm, it's technically happening. Because there's Bermuda, missed Bermuda by a couple miles, moving off to the east. They saw little to no impacts. This is our new system right here. This is brand spanking new. And that's what formed up because of our cold pocket in the upper levels, all of this mainstream moisture here and the good thunderstorm activity. Philippe is going off to the east. So everybody who continues to talk about Philippe for the next few days, I really hope you guys tell them you're wrong. I really do, and I genuinely mean that, because I will even openly admit tomorrow in my video I was wrong, and everybody's wrong. Even technically National Hurricane Center's last advisory is wrong, because Philippe is right there. I'm drawing it, doodling it because of how weird it is, but you can see it in the visible satellite structure, and if I switch over to water vapor, you'll see it even clearer. It's that upper low. See that? That upper low that came off of the coast of the United States. And let me see if I can speed this up a little bit so we can get through the loop faster. Look at how that upper low, the divergence aloft ahead of it, really spun up its own separate entity. And then here's Philippe getting sheared out and kicked out into open water right there, moving basically east-northeast at this point. That's Philippe. This is our new system. This is like a secondary frontal system, or maybe even like a subtropical cyclone or a post-tropical cyclone. I shouldn't say post-tropical. It's something. It's definitely something. Yeah, Philippe gave birth. The jet gave birth, but that's crazy. That's wild. So Bermuda is actually getting more impacts from that upper level low now translated down to the surface, and that's what's actually going to hit the northeast. If this continues, I mean, we could technically see this little remnant spin from Philippe get sucked back in like this, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. That would be too sharp of a turn, and look at all these upper level winds coming off the coastline right there. It's going to get pulled out to sea. So whatever this thing is that's bubbling up that no one is paying attention to is what's going to go up to the northeast and wreak havoc. And that makes a lot of sense with why a lot of the forecasters out there, not only on YouTube, but in National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, are actually predicting we could see worse impacts from this than we did with Lee even, because they're two of the same kind of systems, except this is over open water like Ophelia was. Well, the National Hurricane Center is still going to classify it as Philippe. Yeah, I know. They are. They're not paying attention to where it's coming from. And again, I'm not trying to say I'm right and they're wrong, but I mean, can you argue with what's happening here? I mean, there's your upper level low. Look at how it deepens. That's not Philippe. If you're going to try to tell me that that's Philippe, then what the heck is the matter with you? That's all upper level low. This has been Philippe tracking away from the Caribbean right here, this blob of mess going off to the east-northeast. That's Philippe at the very end of the run right there. This is not it. That's why we had a miss, for all intents and purposes, a false alarm in Bermuda. So that's what I'm going to hype up. I'm going to hype up the fact that everyone is wrong. Everybody out there, and whoever's watching this, I'm looking straight into the camera. Whoever's out there saying, Philippe, you're wrong. I was wrong. National Hurricane Center was wrong. Not even joking. No, yeah, Philippe went post-tropical, and that's probably why they went post-tropical as fast as they did. They were like, guys, what do we do about this? And they were like, post-tropical cyclone Philippe, post-tropical cyclone Philippe, final advisory. There we go. Problem solved. Crisis averted. Wilhelm, very good. I'm glad you no longer feel sick. That's excellent news, dude. It does look subtropical. It's down to the surface at this point, too. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. For all we know, this could technically be subtropical storm Sean. It's just we're not paying attention to it because of what happened with Philippe and this guy. So maybe they'll catch up and they'll say something about it. But I'm definitely blasting this out on my channel tomorrow. Which, by the way, guys, I don't know if you've watched my video today, but exactly what I've been worried about happening is starting to happen. Anytime I don't talk tropics or anytime I don't talk about National Hurricane Center or hurricane season in general, my views plummet. They go way down, and that's something I'm going to just have to come to terms with, unfortunately, because, I mean, my channel started during the heart of tropical season. It was centered around tropical updates, and now that we have all this stuff breaking out over the United States, it's kind of like a whole new viewer platform, you know? So, one of the most confusing routes. I agree. Yeah, Florida sucks for fall and winter. Kind of. Well, the National Hurricane Center is going to yeah, I read that already. My bad. 182 millibar hurricane tomorrow in Florida. Run. Are you going to wear a mask? Looks like a subtropical. Yes. Arjun Bani, welcome in. National Hurricane Center is on Philippe on the Friday the 3rd, next Friday. All you going to wear a mask? I will wear one of my masks. I don't know if it'll be, my Jason Goes to Hell mask or my Friday the 13th Part 4 or Part 7 mask. We'll have to see. But, there he is. Brad Campbell's joined the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Now we can officially kick off the hype. But, yeah, I wanted to start off with this because this is crazy. And I will openly take it on the chin. Like, even I today was mentioning how Philippe. Everybody across the board has been Philippe. Like beating a dead horse. And Philippe is not a thing. Philippe is out here. Philippe's going bye-bye. From here on out, I challenge every single one of you in this chat. We only have 55 people in here. I challenge everyone in this chat that if you see a video mentioning Tropical Storm Philippe or Post-Tropical Cyclone Philippe, let them know you're wrong. Let them know that you're wrong because, honestly, I'm going to say that's the first thing I'm going to come out and say tomorrow. I can promise you guys that. Fact check me. As soon as I make my video tomorrow and I get on this subject, I'm going to mention, and we all busted our forecasts, including myself, because we had like a good old switcheroo happen and we didn't even realize it. Well, I'm sticking around and watching your channel. I like weather and it happens everywhere. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dark Earth. There's actually a lot of stuff happening over the United States here very soon. That's going to be pretty intense. I'm not going to use any verbiage beyond that, but it's definitely looking kind of sporty out there. I'm also starting to notice, guys, that finally, I personally think it's too late. I think it's too late at this point with what we've seen in terms of the trends, but now people are starting to put a little more emphasis on the Gulf. Some are, some aren't, and I think now that ship has sailed because a lot of our model data really doesn't show much more than an El Nino type system forming up at this point. There's not to say we won't see a tropical system, but right now, based on everything that I've been seeing, including the most recent runs of the Euro, right here as a matter of fact, it's not looking too tropical anymore. It's definitely looking a lot more like it's going to be remnant tropical energy that gets sheared apart, picked up by the subtropical jet, and then really kicks off a whole abundant swath of severe weather for the southeast. Like, definitely, we're still going to have really bad weather. That's one thing I've been calling since day one. Like, no matter what happens, bad weather is coming, and I'm going to stand true to that. But I think the whole tropical development has sailed, at least for this one in particular. We could still see something out there, but in terms of what that thing's doing for a good old Friday the 13th, I'm really, really losing confidence that we're going to see something tropical out of it. I think it's going to be our first of many potential severe El Nino systems. And whenever I say El Nino, guys, I mean just like a southerly or southern tracking low-pressure center. Because you look at this and you can see how even the Euro has been going all over the place with this now. Last night I was pretty defeated because you look at the probabilities and they dropped way down. We're back down to about like 30-35% chance of development. And then at 12 Zulu, we came back up a little bit. We're back up to 50-55, maybe 60%. But then in comparison to yesterday at 12Z, look at the difference. We were all the way up. Actually, you know what? Never mind. 12Z was a little lesser, so it's back and forth. 0Z, I think, was the one that was really up in, yeah, there we go. 0Z was the one that was way up there, almost into the 75 percentile, and now we're going back and forth. Canadian model and GFS are predicting an El Nino type of system, and I think that's really what it's going to come down to. I really do believe that at this point, what we're seeing here is a precursor to what the winter season is going to look like. Judy, I agree. Judy, absolutely. Just because it's not tropical. And I'll do you one better. People think that just because it's not highlighted by the National Hurricane Center that nothing's happening. And that's where that's where I'm gonna tell you the truth. Since it's Friday Night Hype, we're having a fun Friday night. I'm gonna go ahead and put some people on blast right now. That's when you can really determine who really knows what they're doing and who's just simply reading off of their computer screen. When they're brave enough to go ahead and do speculations and genuine forecast as opposed to just simply saying, oh, look at that. There's a shading there that says 50% chance. Tropical storm going towards Florida. There it is. Then the next day, oh, shoot, 30% chance. Nothing's happening. Then the next day, 75% chance. Something's happening, like that's when you really begin to determine who really knows what they're talking about and who you should probably the good old catchphrase, take that with a grain of salt. Wow, look at that. The Republic LLC, $1 donation, 99 cents. Thank you very much for that. Ethan's Life donated $1. Look at that, guys. Thank you very much. If you hadn't noticed my pinned post, super chats are... Super chats are all up and running. They're up and running. I finally activated them. I got monetized, and we're slowly but surely trying to build some momentum there. So thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, shoot, that's $1 more than I had 60 seconds ago. Ooh, excuse me. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get out of that. I definitely know for certain that next week, Wednesday through into the weekend, is going to be miserable. We're going to have bad weather everywhere. Somebody up here in the chat, let me see. I saw something about tropical tidbits. Brad Campbell, someone is a bit I'm very sassy today. Not going to lie, I'm very sassy. That looks bizarre. Linda, it definitely does. Judy, I read your comment. Oh, for sure they're getting put on blast. Absolutely. Are we looking more into the Caribbean, mayhaps? Gabriella, I mean, earlier today I did notice, and I think you saw it on my Instagram as well, that the Icon model in specific brought back our little tropical disturbance that's currently moving just to the west of our Leeward Windward Islands. This bad boy right there. It's a very disorganized tropical wave, but I noticed at 12 Zulu, you get a little circulation out of it, and you could see it to the south of Jamaica trying to get a low center of pressure. See, there's a closed streamline right there moving towards the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands are probably going to see their rain chances go up. And then you can see it right as it gets ready to move over Cuba. Look at that. We got like a 20, 25 knot indicator out of that. And then it moves over, this is 18Z, excuse me. So 18Z is still carrying it. 12Z, you go back and you could see a very pronounced little disturbance right there moving across Cuba and then straight into southwestern Florida. So there it is, guys. We can hype that up. We're getting another southwest Florida landfall. Let's see, who else am I missing from the chat? God, I hope it just rains in West Florida. The Hive, it's definitely going to rain, that's for sure. Do you have your water nearby, you grumpy? No, I have my high noon sun sips nearby. This kind of does the trick. Considering Philippe lasted longer than any other storm this year, it makes sense. Mr. Weatherman was talking about a Gulf potential. Yeah, I noticed he was finally, and in my mind I was thinking, at least we're talking about it, like there's something coming out of there, and it bums me out that some of these big pages waited this long into the game to start mentioning it. Because everybody who's been in this chat, everyone who's consecutively watching my videos, they've been known, like, since the middle of September, like, hey guys, beginning of October is going to look weird. And we've been talking about it, and now it's starting to finally look weird. But, yeah, then the Korean model, you can even see the Korean model has finally deviated its continuity. We still get a low spinning up, but then it looks like it gets obliterated by that frontal boundary. There's our closed low, and then smack, right upside the head, like Lucille, Negan swinging Lucille, and it just completely disappears, washes out, and gets pulled into the coastline of New Orleans, Mississippi, or Louisiana, Mississippi, I should say. So, yeah, and then there's something else out there, too. There's something else that tries to get going. What's really going to be interesting, too, is I'm noticing that the GFS, the Canadian and the Korean model have something forming right through there where the Tehuantepec winds, all that cold air is funneling through. It's very bizarre that you see a low spin up right there, getting fed off of the Tehuantepec winds blowing through that channel there. And then there's another low center. So I don't know. Like I said in my video today, guys, it's not over until it's over. But for right now, it's not looking too crazy. Like, I'm definitely going to try to steer clear of talking heavily about the tropics until we get just a little bit closer to what's happening in the Gulf. I saw a comment on Fox Weather Philippe video, double strike for Maine, that's rare, and I said, double strike, Lee never made landfall in Maine, and Philippe is gone. Yeah, exactly, Florida Man 2.0, I agree. Can I get these websites you use for free other than Tropical Tidbits? College of DuPage, this website right here, is one I used to use a lot when I was in the military. Has a lot of really good local and large-scale weather data that you can use. This one I could link in the chat if you'd like. I like their legacy page a little bit more than the new stuff. The new stuff is a little harder to navigate. I thought you said that was the last advisory post-tropical cyclone Philippe. It is. That is the last one. It's gone. Stop hyping. Demonic intentions. It's all Friday night. We got to hype up. Yes, the Hive. We need rain in Crystal River bad. I agree. Sharon Jackson. The Western Panhandle in Florida needs some rain. We are under a red flag warning. Yes, the whole Gulf Coast, from right about in through where that blob of precip is on the map, all the way through to western Florida, is in really, really severe drought conditions. So, I mean, just looking at the 12Z Euro right here, relief is on the way. It's any moment now. Relief is coming, especially once we get that return flow meeting up with that low pressure moving into the Panhandle, Alabama area. That's definitely going to trigger a lot of really intense thunderstorms. So just like, let me see, where is she? Judy. Just like Judy was mentioning earlier, just because it's not highlighted, just because it's not a named storm, doesn't mean that nothing's happening. Wasn't there another system coming south, Clayton? Yeah, there's a big one. That's the monster that's over the central United States right there. Good old textbook Colorado low spinning up right there, bombing out, as a matter of fact. Like, we're going down to the 980s in that bad boy. And see, I'm glad this is happening. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm glad that thing's breaking out the way that it is, but I'm glad that it's happening because everyone was going crazy over Tropical Storm Ophelia. I still don't think she was a full bona fide tropical storm, but that's just me. Everyone was going crazy over Ophelia, mentioning, oh my God, life-threatening impacts. It's like, guys, we literally, you want to put a tropical storm warning out for all of the United States at this point because there's going to be something big blowing up and moving across the heart of the country. So, really funny how weather works. Let's see. Let's go. I'm losing the chat. I'm definitely losing the chat here. I'm seeing a lot of donations coming through, guys. You're going to make me cry. Like, that makes me feel really good. Really good. Let's see. Philippe, 12.75 days. Franklin, 12 days. So, Philippe barely beat Franklin. Wow, because I feel like Franklin was out there for the whole hurricane season. I'm just kidding. No, not that long, but, let's see. You are trying to outpaid me. The last run of the GFS shows that the systems are not going to merge anymore. Yeah, no, they really weren't supposed to merge to begin with, honestly. Like, there was this feature that was going to just blob out over the southeast, and then we had our main Colorado system. And what I do believe is going to happen is right along the coastline, which is also what I kept talking about when Ophelia was popping up, if you guys are paying attention, right off the coastline with all that jet energy that's working its way through like this, and then the combination of polar front jet right through there, I think we're going to see a Carolina or a Hatteras low form up, and that's what's going to become our triple point low and help continue to push all that cold air off the coastline. The 18Z GFS is brutal, though. You get this first system through right now, which, actually, come to think of it, I can't wait to go to the gym in the morning because I think the fronts already through us are just about. And it's going to feel great in the morning. But anyways, you go through the latest GFS. There goes our blob. See how that just looks like a low-pressure area or just a general organized area of thunderstorms? But then here comes our big cyclone. This one wants it to do more of like a Texas low kind of thing. It keeps moving it further and further south. Also an indication of El Nino, by the way. Pardon me. And as you go through time, watch how fast that cold plunge makes its way across the U.S. This is why I made this the main event of my video today, because that's all cold air advection across the entire United States. Now that's your hype for you. We have a nationwide frontal system moving through, and if you track the leading edge, I'll use a different color so I can highlight it for you guys. We'll go forward just one panel, and look at how much further to the south it already is. It's down through here now. Go forward another panel. It's down into the Gulf now, down in through here. Like, it's moving fast, and it plunges way off to the south. I'll clear the ink and just go towards the back end of this system, and look at how far to the south it goes. That thing's going way down. Look at the high pressures all the way across the southeast. And then we have another little weak system wrapped up in this high pressure moving across the Intermountain West Great Basin area. So fall is literally, honestly, I would almost argue that winter is trying to pop up early, which is crazy. Because this definitely looks winter. I bet you 10-1 if we go over to thermodynamics. Let's see the 850 temperature anomaly. Yeah, look at that. Wow. As a matter of fact, that's... Dang, yeah, we're actually... I wonder if PM, if you're in the chat, say something, because there's your El Nino right there, buddy. That's El Nino and then some, because El Nino is characterized usually by a cooler and wetter wintertime for the south, and then a warmer and drier over the north. And you could see it right here, plain as day. We have all these cool temperatures across all of the United States almost. And then look at how warm it is in Canada. So if you guys wanted a clear, cut and dried answer to why everything is bouncing off the wall and going absolutely off the chain right now, just El Nino. Good old Chris Farley. El Nino is Spanish for the Nino. That's exactly what's happening right now. If I had $1 for every video talking about Philippe, I'd buy everything on the Waffle House menu. Honestly, bro, like, I don't know if I've ever seen, maybe it's because I'm on YouTube so much now, but I've never seen so many update videos about the same thing over and over and over and over again. That's kind of why I'm also trying to not do just tropical stuff at this point, because in my opinion, as much as I love weather, I'd much rather, like Dark Earth was saying earlier, I'd much rather talk about something else prevalent as opposed to Tropical Storm Philippe. Hey guys, Tropical Storm Philippe. Has anyone mentioned Tropical Storm Philippe? Because Tropical Storm Philippe is pulling a Tropical Storm Philippe while Tropical Storm Philippe, it gets over and over again. Hello, I vanished, yet here I am watching my favorite weatherman. Oh, Anto, you're a sweetheart. I appreciate that very, very much so, trust me. It's nice to see you popping in the chat this evening, madam. You about to lose a subscribe if you don't stop hyping up about something that isn't worth hyping. Demonic Intentions, are you serious right now? Like, are you genuinely... Are you just bouncing the hype back off of us? Because I'm not hyping anything besides the fact that we have a massive winter storm about to plunge across the United States. I'm about to lose a subscriber. What? I don't even know what I did wrong. Ethan's Life, another $1 donation. Thank you very much. Zenful, thank you for the $2.49. Doffboy, thank you for the 99 cents. Lucas, thank you for the donation. Everybody, Judy, thank you for the $3. I gotta get my views up, guys. I gotta start hacking YouTube and get my subscriber base up through the roof because I want to give back to you guys. I really do. I genuinely do. Let's see, what else have I missed? I can't donate. Superchars, I wonder why that you can't donate. Is that like an issue on the other side, or is it just you're not able to right now? Because if you can't, I entirely understand. It's not I'm already grateful enough as it is that you guys are putting into the chat right now. That makes me feel humbly proud of myself and proud of you guys as well for, being as close-knit in this weather community as we are. Come on, everyone, at least $1. Ethan's Life, thank you very much for that. Getting some beer money. Heck yeah, I'm going to go restock up on my Seagrams and these high noon things. Possible Dericho for Florida. Yes, I'm serious. I just don't know how Derichos form. That's actually a very good thing to bring up, Ethan. You know what? I'm going to make a note of that. I have my little weather notebook right here, as a matter of fact. Let's do it. I'm going to make a note, and tomorrow I'm going to do a little research on what the potential of that happening is, because there's definitely going to be some very strong winds coming out of this. And now, of course, I don't have a pen over here. Oh, here, yes, I do. Perfect. Possible Dericho. In layman's terms, what a Dericho is very, very potent straight line winds. They're very severe. They happen in a moment's notice, and it's essentially a sudden rushing forward of winds in the horizontal plane. In today's video, I mentioned that momentum transfer where you have strong winds coming from above down to the ground. That would be more of an instance of horizontal momentum transfer because you have a sudden rush. I read about it not too long ago in a course I just took. Let me get back to you on that and figure out the finite details on it. But Derichos, I argue to say, are more dangerous than a lot of the tropical systems we see bloom up, unless we're talking like a major hurricane. Bro is hyping, but I didn't ask for you to say anything to me. I mean, that's the whole point of coming in on Friday night. We got to hype up. We're definitely hyping. And this isn't authentic hype. Authentic hype would be if I was in my videos hyping up what's going on out there. Now, today I definitely did mention we have a lot of threats out there, like Western Conus, all up in through here, and then extending down into the front range of the Rockies and the Four Corners through Colorado, Wyoming, and New Mexico. We're all going to see 35 knots of wind or greater for an extended period of time. That's for dang certain. And to put it into perspective, for those of you who aren't familiar with knots converting, that's tropical storm force winds across the Rocky Mountains because of that momentum transfer event that I was just telling you about. And then once you get out over the plains, you're going to have all that really intense weather forming up once that low starts to deepen and organize and move off to the east. And then that significant cold air advection out of the north is really going to amp up surface winds. So it's going to be a widespread, a huge event, much bigger than anything a tropical system could create, much bigger than what Philippe, I know it's not Philippe anymore, could have done. So, we have Fall is definitely not even trying. I would argue that winter is kind of kicking down our doors right now, trying to show up. I can't tell if anyone is being real about the hype thing anymore. Honestly, yeah, neither can I. I think we've blurred the lines at this point. Hey, excited for Tropics talk. Hype is harmless if no one is harmed. I agree, and right now that's what we're doing. We're just kind of, hyping up. Great job on monetizing, Larry. Thank you for that. It was definitely, I was very hesitant to do it, and I'm kind of glad that I did. Mr. Weatherman is official. He is official. He's an actual degreed meteorologist. I'm almost there. I almost shared on my Instagram today the degree program that I'm a part of. What's the Weatherman's got a good teacher in Tom Terry. Yeah, honestly, I wish Tom Terry had a YouTube channel. I really do. Tom Terry is my absolute favorite chief meteorologist from WFTV. Is that Caribbean storm going to form into a hurricane? It's not looking like it, Clayton. Definitely not looking like it. Donos equals chase parties and better videos. Thank you. Yeah, that is true. For the donation, I'm voting. For the donation battle, I'm voting on Zenful. Please, dear God, keep trolling people with hype. Anyone who listens to you for more than 5 minutes can tell you know your stuff. Oh, the hive. For a second there, I was scared because I've seen you in here before in my videos, and I actually thought I turned you off with all this joking hype. Because, guys, on a serious note, I'm just messing around. Like, it's a thing we do on Friday nights. It's a casual live stream. We're not talking anything major official. That's what the main videos are for on my channel. When we hype up, it's just us having a good time. We get a little rowdy on Fridays. Lucille, who is that? Lucille is the baseball bat from The Walking Dead that Negan uses to... I'm not going to spoil it if no one has watched that far into the series, but yeah. Did I already get Linda's $1.99? I think I did. Maybe I'm like way too far up in the chat. Switch to 2-meter air temperature shaded. Let's go take a look. There he is. 2-meter temperature shaded. Yeah, there you go. There you have it. Look at all that cold air coming down to the south. And, someone was mentioning that this is an Arctic plunge. Someone mentioned that this is an Arctic front. I'm not going to name who, but somebody mentioned we have Arctic air, and that's definitely not the case here. I've analyzed and I've seen Arctic air. And Shane Castle, I'm not sure if you're in there tonight, but he taught me how to find indications of when the Arctic front actually shows up, and the northern branch of the jet, the minus 31, 32 degrees Celsius isotherm, makes its return to North America. That's when you have Arctic air from way up in the poles coming down. This is still polar air. This is definitely still polar. I mean, when you have above freezing temperatures all the way up into Canada, yeah, this is definitely polar. This is not full-fledged, run-of-the-mill, dense Arctic air. We're not there yet. Holiday weekend is here. Hell, there he is. PM, welcome in. We were just talking about you a little bit ago. Thank you for everything you do. I really do mean it. And thank you for saying hi to my mom, Christine in Palm Bay. She was overwhelmed. And also thanks for Philippe bringing wins our way. Yeah, he's definitely going that way. That's for sure, Thomas. Once again, thank you also for asking for the shout. I'm glad to help you guys out for sure. How about $100? Shoot, I wish. Honestly, I'm not going to say no to that. Palm Bay, that's where I live. I've been saying this for 2 weeks. El Nino is finally arriving. Yep, we have cold weather because of global warming. The hot Pacific waters are making it cold here. Did you see that only a moderate strength to El Nino is favored now? That's interesting because a lot of folks have been mentioning strong El Nino. I'm serious. I don't know how Dericho's form. You're going to be so rich. Shoot, I wish. Don't go jinxing me like that. Knock on wood. Lord willing, this YouTube channel goes places, but I'm not looking that far into the future. I just want to know if it is possible to have a Dericho from this system, and I'm serious because I don't know how Derichos form, especially far down south and near Florida. Well, let's all go ahead and take a look since we have a few others talking about it now. Let's look up a Dericho. There it is, like I had mentioned, a line of intense, widespread, fast-moving windstorms and sometimes thunderstorms that move across a great distance and is characterized by damaging winds. And this is what they look like on satellite, at least I hope. I'm not clicking into a dangerous area of Google. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get on radar. I don't know if we're going to get a Dericho out of that stuff. Oh, this was in my textbook, this guy right here, this little time-lapse video. I don't know if we'll see a Dericho, however you want to pronounce it, out of that system, although that looks kind of like what we're expecting. But we'll definitely see some strong winds from it, that's for sure. Oh, no, I'm not able to donate financially. Supercharge, you didn't have to put that in the chat, but I do appreciate the transparency, buddy. Like I said, I mean, everyone else is doing it out of pure kindness. I'm not asking for anything like this, but I'm not going to say no. And it really does make me feel humbly proud of the work that I do for you guys. I'm only 12 years old. I don't have money, and I'm not going to steal my parents' money, so I can't donate. Sorry. Daniel, you don't have to apologize to anybody, buddy. Part of an MCS, Mezzo, mid-level cyclone. That is true, PM, very true. It can last way longer. Dericho is classified by a line of storms spanning over 200 miles. Daniel, you were only throwing crap at me and you're only 12. Loving seeing all the donation he's a Dion, yeah, $3. Dion, thank you very much for the $3, buddy. Very, very sincere thank you. Very sincere thank you, guys. In 1993, Florida had a derecho with winds of up to 110 miles an hour. Storm surge was 9 to 12 feet along the Gulf Coast. I believe that. Are you even old enough to be on YouTube? Nazari, just ignore these fools. They're on every live you do. That is true. Everyone, please hit the like button. It's free and helps get the channel out. That is true. Christine makes a very valid point. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. That's the big one. Because like I was saying earlier in this live stream, now that I'm starting to step away from the tropics, I'm noticing my views are starting to go down because I'm moving niches. And I know that it doesn't seem like a big jump because, you know, it's still weather at the end of the day. But it makes a big difference because when you go from catering to an audience who is all like Atlantic coast, Southeast, Caribbean, etc., to now I went to talking about the Pacific Northwest and the Western United States, Canada, like it changes the dynamic a little bit. And I can see why people are probably clicking away from the video or thinking that maybe it is hype. Are we getting a hurricane or not, Weather Boy? Brad? Weather Boy. I don't think we're getting a hurricane, that's for sure. The no-named storm. We are not. I agree. Do you think going outside at 11 p.m. and 20 degrees feels nice? Iowa derecho of August 2020 is a classic example. Thanks, Diva. Diva Jefferson is absolutely right. Be nice to Daniel. He's learning about weather. Yeah, I commend him for being in here and listening. I really do, actually. He was throwing shade at me for a while, so it's payback time. No payback in here. It's all good vibes in here. SPC outlook is going to look weird with possible TS Sean impacting Southeast and severe weather in the Midwest. Going to be weirdly split. Yeah. Honestly, everything over the next few days is going to be very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. So, because we have nothing but wild weather everywhere. I just still think it's very interesting that we're going to keep talking about, quote, Philippe, and he's long gone out in the Atlantic. Let's pull up the satellite shot, have that in the background just doing whatever it wants. Yeah, there it goes. Clear delineation. I've actually also seen some posts. I've seen posts and other videos on social media, and I even on a Google search found this. People are saying that this is going to develop, and I'm like, what? Where are you guys getting this stuff from? First of all, that's not going to develop. This was the weak entity in question down here, but it looks like that has kind of weaned itself out. There's nothing really associated with it anymore. That's what the icon was thinking could track up like this. That looks like it's losing a lot of its energy. There goes our invest area finally firing out in the Eastern Pacific. And then this is our area of investigation by the National Hurricane Center that's going to do this. Very uninteresting. Not much to hype over there. But, yeah, honestly, you know, I'm really starting to think, unless we do get something at the last second in the middle of October, hurricane season kind of seems like it's going to maybe start to peter out. Maybe really start to peter out. Good night, Nazaria. Latest GFS and some of us showing other system behind the wave coming off of Africa. What's your thoughts on this? Let's see. Are you talking about 18Z or 12Z? Because I noticed on 12Z, there is something on there. And even the Korean model, if I go over to the tropical Atlantic, you can kind of see something out there behind it. So there's our first one forming up, going out into the Atlantic. And then, yeah, right there, you have another infamous below that 10-degree latitude line system right there going out across. But then at the very end of the loop, it looks like it gets stopped in its tracks by something and stops and fizzles out. And then, yeah, I'm pretty certain I know exactly what you're talking about. On the GFS, also showing a little bit of member agreement out there as well. Let's go over to the tropical Atlantic. 18Z is not in yet, but we'll go to 12Z. Let me get my ink out of the way. And then right there, yeah, right there, a little bit of development. GFS has one last ditch effort. Let me zoom in on for you guys real quick. I'll go to the Gulf of Mexico. And at the very tail end of the run, there's literally one ensemble at the very back of this loop. So you can see how ensemble agreement from the GFS has dropped entirely. Like you can see 1, 2, 3. That's it. 3 ensemble members of the GFS now are thinking we're going to see development. So that's what I meant earlier when I said that confidence is starting to really dwindle. But then watch as you go towards the middle parts of October, you get one ensemble member that suddenly forms up and says major hurricane for Florida. Right here, this one. That little line right there. This one here, that would indicate one ensemble member mentioning a Cat 3, if not a Cat 4 hurricane going towards Florida. There's your hype for the night. That's the hype. GFS is calling for a Cat 4 in the middle of August. I mean, wow. The middle of August, the middle of October, the hype got to my brain for a second. I don't know if we're going to get to the end, honestly. I don't know. I mean, technically, we could be messing up by not highlighting or at least investigating what that thing is that is kind of replacing Philippe right now off the East Coast. We could make a case if it continues to deepen down that could be subtropical storm Sean. But, yeah. I don't know if we're going to get all the way to the end, though. Right now, it just doesn't seem like we're going to get more than Sean out in the Atlantic, and then maybe one more in the Gulf, maybe. So I don't know. Sharon Jackson, don't take me for real. I'm just kidding around. That's like our Friday night hype right there. I just wanted to point out that I thought it was kooky that the GFS has one random ensemble calling for a major hurricane right towards Tampa. That's how you know it's wrong, because Tampa never gets hit. We could have a major hurricane, but I would honestly doubt more that Tampa gets hit more than the major hurricane. Let's see. Typical GFS, Gabriella, I agree. Superchar's, LOL, Robert, hype it. Yep, that's going to, on top of the Philippe transformation, I'm going to hype that up tomorrow. That's going to be the thumbnail right there, guys. We got to start watching October 21st, 10 days before, I can't talk right now. 10 days before Halloween, we got a Cat 4 hurricane rounding out the season. Fum Chum, you're right. You're right. I'll give that to you. The biggest storms are usually seen by a single model or two, and then they begin to develop their consistency. But I have a lot of doubts about this. The fact that, first of all, the GFS completely discontinued any agreement that we're going to get anything out of what is tropical moving into the Gulf, and then all of a sudden we get a resurgence of whatever that is, that would develop, let me see if I can track that ensemble member. That would possibly develop right around the 18th of October. Let's see what's on the GFS right now for down there. Do we even have a system down there that could possibly get going? Because I think the GFS clears everything out on its deterministic run by the 18th of October. 18th of October, you get smacked upside the head by that big system, and it clears everything out. I mean, I guess you could argue that there is some leftover stuff right there in the Western Caribbean, but we're talking extreme la-la land, guys, and I'm not trying to rush October any faster than it already is. Because that's October 22nd, and I'm trying to enjoy October for what it is, blasting the Halloween theme every time I go, take a drive over to the gym or wherever I'm going, and not getting looked at like I'm weird. Good evening, Weather Sun and Azari, Upper Tampa Bay in the house. Whoop, Kevin, I'll drink to that. Cheers. Toys, did you live in the UK a million times? You told us that a million times. We get it. Daniel, that's good, though. Like, that's great that we have someone watching from so far away. Ethan, bring your boxing gloves. Carmen, I'm a big fan of boxing, actually. I have boxing videos on my fitness Instagram. That's not a joke. That's not hype. I actually do box. Did you see that a moderate El Nino is now favored? I did see that, for sure. Yes, a Cat 3 to 5 storm over Tampa Bay is possible and has happened in late October, but not during moderate El Nino. Oh, it is possible, yeah. Definitely, PM. Like I said, I keep telling you guys, I'm not being 100% genuine and authentic right now, but I definitely don't foresee that happening right now. There's literally nothing to suggest that there's anything going to happen right now outside of that severe weather, maybe with the system working its way across Mexico. Maybe it's time we start to dial back the hype on Friday. I really don't want to, but I also don't want to blur the lines. Because what I'd hate for people to do is come into this live stream alone, a new potential subscriber, and look at these live streams and think that I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. And maybe that's why I don't have as many subscribers as I maybe could, because people are starting to get the wrong impression from our hype streams, and that's all they are. So I don't know. Maybe we'll take a vote, and we'll see if you guys want to keep it hyped up or if we should maybe backpedal it a little bit, make it more official. But yeah, the people in Tampa Bay are numb to these storms because everyone is always projected to hit there and then turns diva. I entirely agree. That's been like that for several years. That's how Louisiana used to feel before Katrina came. Bet, Kamir, what is your opinion on 1932 Cuba hurricane? I got to look at that. I've been hearing a lot about it, but I haven't researched it very much. Got my popcorn. I love these discussions. Sharon, I'm glad I sent you another dono with a question. Oh, I missed it, Ethan. I'm sorry. Let me see. Let me read the rest of the chat first. Canelo, best Mexican fighter. I do like Canelo a lot, that's for sure. I'm really looking forward to see what Tyson Fury does against Francis Ngannou, especially since Francis, I've seen some of you guys putting people in the chat, especially since Francis is being trained by Mike Tyson. I'm an avid Mike Tyson fan, a huge Mike Tyson fan. I love his peekaboo style from when he was in his prime working with Customato and Kevin Rooney. And, a Teddy Atlas. I actually have some of Teddy Atlas's newest training videos to practice for myself. What is winter looking like? This is what winter's looking like. I'm not even joking. That's not hype. Winter is going to be very erroneous because of how south these low pressure systems are going to be moving, and we're just going to, and honestly, one thing I wanted to talk about in my video today that I completely glanced over because I just wanted to get it out to you guys, if you go back to the 12Z GFS and you go to let's see, we'll go to North America. If you watch, it looks almost like if the GFS were to pan out, we're going to be under an area here in Florida of just miserable weather for an extended period of time. Because you go through time, and we're clear right now. We had that front come through. The weather's going to be great for this weekend into the first half of next week, but then we have that one system move through. Look at all the rain chances going up, and then it just kind of hangs out there because we get that next frontal system in. It clears out for a second, but then we get another round of bad weather forming up right over top the state, and then it just kind of parks itself there, and we just continue to get this inflow of moisture and storms from out of this general area getting fed in by our El Nino subtropical jet moving across there. So, it's definitely looking a lot more wet and gloomy for us down here in the south. But, Robert, I see your comment. Sugar Ray Leonard, solid fighter. I'm glad that he still practices even to this day. Same thing with George Foreman. I really like George Foreman. When do you think you'll do an in-person meet? Ethan's Life, excellent question. It's not looking too favorable right now that we're going to have our tropical storm chase, unfortunately. That's the bummer. It's still, to be determined. We still have at least 3 more weeks of when even CPC is thinking that we could see something kick off in the Caribbean or the Gulf. So we always have to say there's that small grain of doubt that there could be something. And I'm not going to keep saying maybe, possibly, could, maybe. I can't stand when people put themselves in a corner like that. There maybe could possibly be a potential for the possibility. It's like, just say no. If you don't know, say you don't know or no, not at all. So I don't know. Maybe if the subscriber base continues to go up, I can start to try to organize something in the near distant future and see what's what. Maybe do like a in-person meet and greet. I don't know. I got to start brainstorming that because ideally a tropical storm chase or a major storm chase event would be much more appropriate for something like this. So I'm just seeing your comment now, Darker. This is 4.5%. Maybe I'm a lightweight. Let's see. Daniel, some people might not have a mom. Those jokes are hurtful. You're not hyping, Nazari. You're just being cautious. Exactly. Do you think the possible system behind the one coming off of Africa now could be strong? I don't think so. Ethan Darcy, Nazari, have a good night. Signing off. Hey, I like that you're using the good old catchphrase. This is Ethan Darcy signing out. I am near Orlando, and most of the people are like, we are too inland to get much, but Ian was rough here. You know, Diva, I would definitely say that we all got lucky with Ian. There was a tremendous amount of flooding everywhere, but for interior Central Florida, that's pretty much all it was. Because I know down in the Poinciana area where I was living originally at that time, we didn't get much in the way of winds, and there was very little wind damage. We got lucky with Ian, because if Ian would have moved a little bit faster, which is also why I was stressing the importance of getting prepared for the possibility of a storm moving across Florida at such a sharp angle and as fast as it would, because it would be a little worse in that department. They just haven't found you yet. They will. We're spreading the word. Carmen, I genuinely appreciate that. I honestly can't say that enough. I wish that I had more of a descriptive vocabulary to use to express my thanks for you guys. But that's really what it boils down to. I definitely want to do, even if it gets like 5 views, because it's not weather related, I'm definitely thinking with as far as I've come on YouTube, even if it being just, I think now we're 2 months deep in the game, 2 months since I started this channel, to have all you guys in here on a recurring basis, to see my chat revenue approaching $38. It sounds minuscule in today's inflated society, but I mean, that's more than I had 2 months ago. That's more than I had 51 minutes and 3 seconds, 4 seconds ago. And I definitely want to promote either a YouTube short or some kind of video for the Thanksgiving holiday expressing my thanks to you guys. And I wish I could give back on Christmas time, but we're not there yet. Lord willing, at some point we can. Maybe this time next year. Maybe next year we'll have a crazy hurricane season and we can all get out there and go storm chasing and do some off-the-wall, buck wild stuff in the middle of Category 5 whoever. Can start thinking about that. You're not hyping Nazari just being caught. It's boring without hype. Judy, I agree. It's definitely boring without hype. You got to hype a little bit. There's got to be a little hype in there or some excitement. A winter that has winter-like weather is a winter well spent. I agree. I love hype. We need more excitement and laid-back weather forecasting. Just saw another we are going to freeze to death video. Oh, gosh. How did you get into weather and get so good at following the future of it? Thomas, great question. So it all started when I saw the movie Twister at 5 years old. And from there, it just sort of compounded on itself. After I watched Twister, I was obsessed with it, obsessed with storm chasing, obsessed with tornadoes. And then from there, I was that little kid in elementary school when everyone else was reading The Magic Tree House and Captain Underpants. I was renting out books, or checking out books, on tornadoes, weather, volcanoes, hurricanes, regular thunderstorms. Like, I was already reading about all that stuff. And then when we got hit by Hurricane Charlie in 2004, that just kind of cemented it for me. When I saw my first hurricane, I was like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do when I grow up, 100%. And I did it. When I enlisted in the military in 2012, I landed the job as a weather forecaster, did a lot of forecasting and analysis. And this is the continuation of it. Now I'm in school. Lord willing, I'll have my degree within the next year or two, and I can start saying this is meteorologist with Weather Center Nazario, so we'll see. This hurricane season was pretty lackluster. You know, Fum Chum, I was talking to one of my buddies on Instagram about that earlier, and, you know, at the end of the day, we definitely did see an average, maybe slightly above average season for what we were first thinking because of El Nino being in the picture. But, you know, we got our 19 to 21 named storms, which they were predicting, or 18 to 21 named storms, which was the final forecasted prediction, I believe, sometime in the middle of the season. And, you know, in terms of landfalls, yes, it was a bust. Definitely a bust. We had a lot of storms, and in fact, I was looking at that earlier today before making my video while I was at work. I'll show you right now. And you can see that it was an active season. 2023 tracks. You can see that it was a pretty active season for what we had going on out there. It's just, if you look, we only had 1, 2, 3. That's it. So that's why to a lot of people it's going to say, or that's why to a lot of people they're going to say that this was a bust year. But look at that. We got 18 named storms. We could be on track for 19, possibly 20. So, and it was a very anomalous year, very anomalous. You can definitely see, I want to go back and I want to study this too. As a matter of fact, let's do a little bit of research right now. Let's all snapshot this in our brain, and we'll get ready to end the live here in a moment with this little fun fact. Let's see if we can see a difference, because this was the start of an El Nino year, and I know last year was a La Nina year. Let's see if we see a big difference. Wait, no, this isn't it. I want the tracks. 2022 hurricane season. Do they not have oh, they do. Okay. I'm not going to look. All right. So let's see, guys, if we have a big difference, because this is going to be important. We could use this, and we can all study this right now, because I'll admit I don't have as much tropical experience as I do synoptic analysis experience. So let's see right now if we can see a trend between a La Nina year and an El Nino year, because right out of the gate, if we go into a La Nina year together, using this little bit of continuity, just by looking at these historical charts, we may be able to kind of get an idea of, okay, this year we're going to have to be on guard. This year, maybe not so much, and so on and so forth. So 2023, we'll look at this again. And you can see we had a large majority of our storms in through here. Right there. That's our general swath. We'll say that's our margin of error for the historical tracks of this year. We had some anomalies out there, but you can definitely see El Nino, that's for sure, because look at that. Caribbean was dead. We had Idalia. That was the one main storm, and then Arlene was a very big fluke, in my opinion. And then we had, I think that was Harold. Yeah, Harold, who kind of got his act together last second. So this seems like El Nino. Now let's see if 2022 has a big difference. Oh, shit, yeah, look at that. Big difference. Big difference. That's definitely, I'll use a different ink. But look at that. That's a huge difference. There's our swath for a La Nina year. So just looking at these charts, well, I have to look at 2004. Got to look at 2004 and see, because that was an El Nino year, and I know we had a lot of Caribbean storms that year as well. But I know this year El Nino is a bit more aggressive too, and we had a lot more dry air out there than we typically do. Hurricane season ain't over till it's over. Remember Nicole last year? Yep, in the middle of November, just as everyone had pretty much taken their, taken their eyes off the tropics entirely. I'm trying to do 100 at a time milestones more realistically. Every 5 to 10 is nice. I agree, Ethan. That's definitely a good way to look at it. It only takes one to be a bad season. I agree, Diva, and I think that was our Idalia this year. OMG swear word. Yeah, I think I had one slip. Troughing is why most storms stayed away. I saw the pattern by late August. Idalia was the October storm. Yeah, we definitely had a lot more aggressive troughs and a lot more frontal systems beginning to make their way off the East Coast. And I definitely think that El Nino had a little bit of a role in that, because we had our subtropical jet going strong all throughout the year pretty much, and it's still out there going really strong right now. Robert Arando, we were on a cruise ship when Nicole got flagged. Miss Leah Janelle, you are very much appreciated, Naz. Thank you very much, sweetie. That means a lot. 2004 was top 3 seasons of 2000. Let's go ahead and see, because that was an El Nino year. Let's see how many of them actually went out to sea and how many did come through the Caribbean. Hurricane season 2004 tracks. Let me clear my ink out of the way. Yep, so continuity goes out the window. Never mind, I take that back. Between 2022 and 2023, there was definitely a big shift in the general consensus. But that was an El Nino year, and dang, Mother Nature had it out. We pissed her off big time, because look at how bad Florida got it that year. And the Gulf Coast, for that matter, but Florida got hit numerous times. In fact, which storm was this? I don't remember there being a 5th storm that hit us. Or is that Ivan again? No, Ivan, no, not, yeah. Ivan came down like this, and yeah, I remember him hitting South Florida and then going up towards Texas. Which storm was that came up in towards where Idalia hit? Well, I can't tell. Let me clear the ink out of the way. No, that's not Ivan. Let me see who said that. I just missed it. Fumchum. Ivan is this one right here. Ivan went up, and I remember he went into the Panhandle and then came back down right in through here. That was Ivan. I'm trying to remember who's that one? Because that was a long track storm too, it looks like. That one started way back here, number 5. Earl. Okay, so we did have 5 storms that year. I don't remember that at all. We had a tropical storm Earl hit Florida as well. Interesting. Or was that Earl? Wait, no, there's no way. That's not Earl. This is hard. I can't follow the plots. What about number 2? Was that... Maybe it was Bonnie. Let's go see Bonnie. Tropical Storm Bonnie 2004. There we go. Yep, it was Bonnie. Okay. So, dang, we had just gotten hit with Bonnie right before Charlie came through, and they formed in the same general area, too. I did not know that. I really did not know that Bonnie hit us. Genuinely. I always used to say Charlie, Francis, Gene, Ivan. But, Jonathan, you got it. That was Bonnie. Wow. So they came in rapid sequential order then. Bonnie, then Charlie. Then we had a break. D, E, and then F. G, H, and then I hit Florida. J came right after Ivan. So, yeah, we definitely got hit. Definitely got hit in 2004. Wow. Very interesting. Good stuff. But, yep, I guess we got to throw that El Nino, La Nina stuff out the window. There's more to it than that. I thought we were onto something there, but then again, weather wouldn't make it that black and white. I was surprised by Nicole last year. I was not surprised by Nicole because last year was La Nina. Oop, he did curse. Now, I kind of want to rewind the stream now and see exactly where. 2004 was Moto Kai El Nino, and it was weak. That's what I remember. It definitely does look like it was weak because we had plenty of Caribbean storms go through there, that's for sure. In fact, almost a large majority of them did in the Gulf of Mexico. It was Bonnie, yeah. 1932 Cuba hurricane hype. 1932 Cuba hurricane. That's the number 1 search. Oh, there it is right there. Some of our models were indicating that we could have something come out of the Caribbean and do that. I mean, that's almost reminiscent of what Franklin did. I'm using the wrong pen for this color right here. Franklin kind of did this, only except he went sooner than that. And he went at a much sharper angle. By Gordon signing out. This is Daniel signing. Oh, so Daniel signing out. I like that everyone's starting to use that. That's pretty nice. But all right, guys. Anyways, we're going to start wrapping up the live stream. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat right now. If not, then we're going to have to go on that brief hiatus for the weekend, and we'll talk again on Monday. Tomorrow is going to be the next segment of Weather Center Nazario, but more than likely there will not be a Sunday segment. It's my meteorological rest day, my meteorological Sabbath, if you will, even though I'm still watching weather. I'm not talking about it and scripting and writing up a video and all that. So if you guys don't have any additional comments and whatnot, we'll start closing out the live stream. And I want to say from the bottom of my heart, guys, for those of you who dropped donations in the chat tonight, $39.58 of chat revenue. I can't tell you how much that means to me. And the bummer is, I know that that's such a cliche statement. It's echoed by tons of social media influencers. It's echoed by celebrities. It's echoed by everybody. Honestly, everybody says it at some point. And I don't know how to better communicate to you guys that it does mean more to me than I could verbally vocalize. It really does. Daniel Butler signing out. Sharon Jackson signing out. I love it. You guys got to keep that going. You definitely have to keep that going. I love it so much. Like, you can see the big smile on my face. But yeah, YouTube was a big leap of faith that I had taken, because honestly, I've been contemplating YouTube since when I was big into the car scene. I used to work on my car a lot. I used to travel all over the Southwest, and attend tons of shows, and at one point my Instagram was up to almost 20,000 followers, and people were requesting for me to go to shows, requesting for me to do this and do that, and I kind of pissed it away once COVID hit, and it hasn't been the same since. I still got the car in the garage, but I just don't do anything with it. And YouTube was something everyone kept on mentioning. You need to do it. You have the vocals for it. You have the personality. You have the charisma. You need to do it. And I just never did. And that's been, let me see, 2015. It's been 8 years in the making. And I finally decided, you know what? I watched some of the other videos. I watched Weatherman Plus. I watched Mr. Weatherman. I've watched so many different people for countless occasions, from Ian last year watching YouTube. And even before I left the military, as I was on my way out, my final supervisor, a Master Sergeant Quimby, told me, you know what, Nazario, you really need to do a weather vlog. You really need to do it because I think you'd be very, very good at it. And finally, when I saw, Idalia taking shape on the Canadian models, I figured, you know what, I'm going to go full send and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a YouTube channel, and to see the chat revenue where it is right now, and to see my subscriber count where it is, even though I know I'm nowhere near the highest subscriber count on YouTube, let alone in the weather community, it's big. It's a big deal to me, and it's a humbly big deal to me. Like, I'm not trying to say that I think I'm Mr. King, you know what, I'm not going to cuss again, but, I know that sometimes YouTube and social media is a grind, and to have all you guys in here doing the donations and all that 2 months in, it just really makes me feel like we've got something here for you guys, and, for all of us, honestly, because that's what I want to do. I don't want the videos to be just about me. I want everything to tether together. I want all of us to be in unison in our war against Mother Nature, getting ahead of it and learning how to deal with this woman, because she does crazy things, obviously. Let's see. Any chance of a recap of the season video on December 1st? It's a great idea, actually. I was thinking about doing that. I would definitely want to try to go through. It's going to be a long process. I'm going to need to, take an extra day off to do it. But I want to go through all of my video segments from the first video. And I may even do, because I've been labeling my videos episodes. Today was episode 51 of Weather Center Nazario. And I think I might do, a season recap, a season finale. Before I switch my title card, my intro is going to change. This is going to change. It's no longer going to be Tropics Talk. And I think that's a great idea, a recap of everything, and just doing highlights from the year. Talking smack about hyping up, and then when things got real with Idalia, and then Category 5 Lee blowing up out there, then some of the live stream clips and whatnot. I think that'd be really cool. Ethan, let me see your other one. I'm trying to get my channel to 1K, trying to monetize. I did see that. I'm definitely going to try to help you out as much as I can. I don't have a whole lot of push and shove, but you know what? I'll do what it takes. Get you some mead with that money. Viking Blot is great. Dark Earth, I'm not too sure I'm following one of your comments. Ensembles have members going towards Florida around the 17th to the 22nd. Is this 18Z? Or are you talking about what we just pulled up? There's a few of them. Let me see if 18Z is in. Here we go. All right, let's see. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can get a better view. All right, 18Z GFS is in. There's that thing in the Caribbean. There's a little bit of Caribbean insight. And yeah, you know what? Maybe we do have something to watch. But then again, guys, this is GFS. So this is probably going to change. But you know what? I see what you guys are talking about. There's definitely something right out here. Something right there. Some more model agreement. There's our first one that National Hurricane Center has highlighted, and there's this thing right there. I don't think that's the same guy. And then this is honestly the most ensembles, albeit there's only 4 of them. But this is the most ensembles I've seen indicating a Cat 2 or greater storm for the middle to late part of October. So you know what? Maybe it won't be Friday the 13th. Maybe it'll be closer to Halloween. Maybe instead of Jason Voorhees, it'll be Michael Myers out there. I'm so disappointed that I wasn't on YouTube for October 2018 when Halloween 2018 was coming out and Michael actually hit Florida as a Cat 5. I can't believe I missed that. Can't believe I missed that. As such, because I was hyped as hell that year for Halloween 2018. Can't tell you how hyped I was. That's what revolutionized my love for Halloween and all the masks I have over here. And I can't believe I missed that opportunity. I would have had so much fun. I mean, granted, that was a Cat 5, so obviously there was some really bad stuff that went down, so let me tone it down a little bit. But dang, I would have eaten that storm up for sure. I'm tired of stupid La Nina. No snow here. Girl, I'm super duper GFO angry. Fum Chum, this year it's going to probably be different. Definitely going to be different. I wish you the best for your degree. I'm sure you will get it and wish you all the best. You deserve it. I mean, so Thomas Denton signing out. Thomas Denton, I will go ahead and authentically salute you. I love that. 4K subs by the end of the month. Lord willing, yes. Dean O'Farrell, Dion's signing out. Peace. You're doing a great job. Dreams do come true and take time to achieve. Diva Jefferson, I can't agree with you more. If it ain't a grind, then it ain't a true goal and it ain't a true dream coming true. It has to be a grind. Because if you ain't grinding, you're not going anywhere. You're spinning your wheels. Thanks, Zanzara. Keep up the good work. You do have what it takes to do a weather blog. Jay Ski, thank you very much. Thank you. Glad you started a YouTube Zenful. I'm very thankful that you were one of my first folks who started popping in. I remember that too. I remember your username popping up on my earlier videos. So, Zenful, I can say glad that you started following the channel. You're definitely one of my earlier subscribers. A lot of you guys are. And I very, very thankfully thank you for that. Again, I don't know the verbs for it. I wish there was more. Can you please look at 18Z GFS ensembles and see what you think about the second wave coming off of Africa in a week or so? That's what we're doing right now. This is 18Z digital dentistry. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Euro doesn't have anything out there in this realm. So we'll definitely continue to watch. I'll make a little sticky note in the back of my mind to just keep watching these ensembles. That anything's possible. It always is. And like I said, that's the most I've seen of any ensemble product over the last 2 weeks now in terms of intensity. Like, we have a Cat 4 indication right into Tampa Bay, and then we have three other ensemble members highlighting a 960 to 979 millibar low. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to stay on my radar. My antenna are up, that's for sure. Is a brand of Norwegian mead. A bottle goes $30-ish. You got enough for the super chats? Okay, I'm going to have to look up for that. I'm going to have to look that up then. Yo, man, I love this stuff. I've been here since your first stream. You are the man. Mike, I will remember Adali because it made me find your YouTube page. I appreciate that. Mike Murad, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome that you found me during Adalia, too. The one that stood out, the one that did it for us, too, the big one. That was the big one for this year, for sure. I mean, some people will say Lee, but no. Had it come in when he was a Cat 5, that would have been a totally different story. The heck happened here? Why is 18Z only at 300 hours and out? This doesn't help us at all. But I see what you're talking about. Digital dentistry, that's what we were mentioning on the Caribbean. You could see it starting to come in right there. So, I mean, we'll see if this trends. We'll see if the Euro starts picking it up. Maybe this is just the calm before the storm. Like I said, maybe closer to Halloween time. You never know. Michael wasn't Halloween event. No, not the storm Michael. I meant Michael Myers. But Michael did hit in October of 2018, and I think it made landfall 4 or 5 days before the movie Halloween 2018 premiered. Because I went to the premiere out in Arizona. Such a great time. I'll tell you, I always wanted to experience a Halloween film since watching 1978 and all the other ones on television. I always wanted to experience what it would feel like being in a packed theater as that Halloween theme kicked off. And it was so, I'm getting chills thinking, it was so worth it. So worth it. And it was a packed theater too. I remember the few of us who went out to watch it, we kept watching the seat count until the theater was entirely full, shoulder to shoulder with fans. And good times before the pandemic, before things started going downhill in the world and everything was peace and tranquility. If we ever hang, I'll bring some. Might take you up on that. So, never know. Definitely. I'm just really happy that someone of your status is watching and commenting on my comments and videos. Thanks. You're very welcome, Ethan's Life. And, it's not really status, man. I mean, I do thank you for that, but we're all trying to make it here. We're all just having a good time, and I'm trying to best translate the knowledge I've gained over the last several years to you guys, and just try to find and communicate with as many like-minded individuals that I can. Everyone at the end of the day, everyone at the end of the stream, everyone say their name and say they're signing out. Yes. And as a matter of fact, with that, we're going to go ahead and start closing out officially this time. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We're well past the hour mark. We always go over. It goes without saying. I should start extending these things an hour 15 because we always end at that point. We'll see you tomorrow for a very brief Weather Center Nazario. It'll be a broad overview again, not going into very many details unless I do see something pertinent. Digital dentistry, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for this. I'll see what 0Z, 12Z, and all the other model runs do after this as well, because it's interesting. We're still seeing some consensus out there. So we'll see. Michael Myers, the real boogeyman. Elite Chief Stark, I absolutely agree. That's why I'm still pissed off at how they did him dirty in Halloween Ends. Ethan's Life, signing out. Have you ever watched the video Hurricane Phoenix on YouTube? I have not. Zenful and everybody else, do me a favor. If you guys have, I'll call them after hours questions, and if you have, if you want to connect on other social media, kind of goes without saying, Weather Center Nazario, hit me a follow on Instagram. We can chat there anytime, any place, because I know sometimes these live streams, they don't quite cut it for the conversations we want to have. But I'll definitely take a look at that, Zenful. Have a great night. See you next time. Mike Murad, we'll see you soon, Monday at 8 p.m. How close are we? Signing out. Do you think that wave we were talking about could come to Southeast Florida, Miami? Way too far out, buddy. Way too far out. We have to see if this even trends now, and that's why I'm going to keep an eye on it. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. So I'll keep you in the loop. If you have an Instagram, please drop me a line at weathercenter_Nazario. You can chat with me offline, send me a private message, and we can collaborate on it. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you, answer all your questions. Thank you, Diva Jefferson, signing out. Doff Boy, signing out. It was Elite Chief Stark. If you have an Instagram, you need to message me right now so we can roast the living daylights out of Halloween Ends. This is Carmen, signing out. Enjoy your weekend, Nazario. Thank you. Another great live. We're better for your decision to teach us. Carmen, I sincerely thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. I wish I had more words to express my thanks. Miss Anonymous, good night. Digital dentistry, you're very welcome. Like I said, if you have an Instagram, WXCenter_Nazario, you can message me anytime. I'm always willing to answer and talk weather, anything for that matter. But ladies and gentlemen, as you guys have been doing in the chat, it's been great. Have a wonderful night, David. I'm off to watch some old horror face, possibly Rosemary's Baby, and some mead. There it is, the mead again. Dark Earth, signing out. I'll follow you on there. Yes, Elite Chief Stark, then we can roast the living daylights and continue the hype for the rest of the evening. Cameron Kelly, appreciate you, man. Cameron, I appreciate you as well. I appreciate every single one of you guys. But all right, so again, just to reiterate, because I know we get sidetracked, I get sidetracked. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have another iteration of Weather Center Nazario. It's going to be hopefully a shorter video, unless there's something pressing I need to communicate to you guys. We'll kind of do a general overview of what we've already been discussing and see what the next week has in store for us. And then there will be no video or live on Sunday. It's my day of rest. Unless something big pops up, then you'll see a video from me, in which case you know something's wrong. But otherwise, we'll see you Monday night for our next Monday night Tropics talk. J-Ski signing out. And you know what that means? We have one person left. We have one individual left before everybody else continues their signing out, because that brings us right into the trademark line that hopefully is going to go places for many, many months and hopefully years to come. Because with that being said, we'll see you tomorrow for our next segment. Sunday, you know the deal. Monday night, 8 p.m., we'll have our live stream once again. We'll see you back there. But until then, guys, this is Weather Center Nazario signing out.